The bad guys of Elm Street. They say every town has a secret, but ours had something worse. Something no one dared to speak about unless the sun was up. We called them the bad guys. No one knew if they were men or monsters wearing the shape of men. And their faces. No one ever saw their faces and lived to tell the story. What made them terrifying wasn't just how they moved, silent, slow, like shadows sliding across the ground, but when they moved. Every night at exactly 2:13 a.m., the air would change, the wind would stop, dogs would hide, and the lights in the houses would flicker as if something was draining the life out of the entire street. One night, a young man named Kelvin decided he was done living in fear. He stepped outside with a flashlight, determined to prove the bad guys weren't real. But the second he closed his door behind him, the temperature dropped. He could see his breath floating in the air like white smoke. Then he heard it, a slow scraping sound, like metal fingers dragging across the pavement. Kelvin shined his flashlight down the road. The beam shook in his hands. Kelvin whispered, "Who are you?" But the figures didn't answer. Instead, their heads tilted, slowly, all at the same time, like broken dolls being forced to move. Kelvin stepped back. One of the figures took a step forward, then another, and another. Kelvin ran. He sprinted to the corner, turned left and froze. They were there, already ahead of him, waiting. One of them reached out a long, pale hand, its fingers impossibly long, and the lights around Kelvin exploded, plunging the street into total darkness. The next morning, Kelvin's flashlight was found in the middle of the road, still on, still flickering. But Kelvin was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just cold air and silence. And now, the town lives by one rule: lock your doors and never, ever look outside.